Would you or should I?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'll give it a go. Hi everybody, welcome to Hear Us Out. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Paul.
And today we're going to be discussing Oscar nominations because the Oscar nominations for 2019 just came out. There's a lot of exciting stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff that's not exciting that we're going to make exciting.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know what else to say. So, just to clarify, there's a lot of movies that we haven't actually been able to see yet, mostly because they haven't come out here in Ireland due to just limited releasing so that they can fill the quota for releasing at cinemas and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Green Book only released in about 13 cinemas, just so that it filled that quota. And to be very clear about that, this is one of those things that's annoyed us for quite a long time. They will release in America to be eligible for award season and not release in Europe. So that's why Green Book came out in the US and it hasn't come out over here, even though we've been watching the trailer for the same length of time. So we've just been waiting for it for longer. But it's pretty much so that in Europe they can launch movies with Academy Award nominee, Academy Award winner, etc., etc. And actually you pointed out the best example of the worst of this, which was last year or the year before? It was maybe? Last year. Darkest Hour, the Gary Oldman Churchill movie, came out in America so it first aired in America at a festival in September, and then got a limited release in November limited release until 22nd of November. It wasn't released in Europe until about the 12th of January.
Yeah.
So it's just a thing that they do just to make sure that they can actually,
And it's irritating because it means that some stuff on our list we won't have been able to see. So
yeah. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but as we said, it's a little bit of an asterisk just to say that we haven't seen all the films here. We have read up from critics and also from reviews online from other people and stuff like that.
Well, we've done our homework, but it's most importantly we have our opinions, which is all we ever need.
Yeah, that's why it is Hear Us Out.
So I like that. Ooh, he's getting smooth. I'm going to be reading the nominations from over here. If you wouldn't mind just fixing that light, actually. We're going to be going with, I think we should probably start with Best Picture. What do you say?
Yeah, we'll start strong and end crappy.
That is the traditional thing that we do.
We'll end strong as well.
We'll try.
Well,
you better. I don't know if I can. The best thing about Best Picture is that it's probably the biggest controversy, so we can get it out of the way up front. And I wouldn't even say controversy. The nominees are Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favourite, Green Book, Roma, A Star is Born, and Vice. And the first one on that list, Black Panther, is what's had a lot of the talk about it, whether or not it really should be an Oscar-nominated film. Particularly considering it's the first of the Marvel films, it's the first comic book movie. Way back in the day when Dark Knight didn't get nominated, this is maybe where this has all come from. Take it away, Paul.
Yeah, so essentially, we like the film. It's a very good film and stuff like that. It has one of the best villains in the Marvel universe, but we don't think it deserves an Oscar nomination. We think it's filling essentially one of the slots for a particular reason. But to give you an example, where would you place it in your top five of the Marvel movies? Would it be in the top five?
Would it even be in the top three of your Marvel movies? Yeah. And more than that, but along with that, would it be in your top one out of the three Marvel films released last year, which was Ant-Man and the Wasp, Infinity War, Avengers Part 3, technically. Avengers 3 would have been Infinity War, yeah. Yeah,
it would be.
Infinity War, which was massive and, a lot of people love, a lot of people hate. But would Black Panther be the one you would choose out of those even?
No.
Not for me.
No, Infinity War was just a better film for me.
So look, it's there. It's not a big deal that it's there. This is a category that used to have, 4 or 5 slots open in it. Now it's 9, I want to say.
It's 8.
It's 8. Thank you for counting faster than me. I don't know if it stands a chance of winning. You have a theory that it may...
Yeah, so the way that it's going to work is I'm going to try to be right and Patrick is going to follow his heart.
I'm going to follow my heart.
So,
Yeah, I think that. So I'm going to go for 4 films essentially that I think, and I'm going to choose one of them to be my lead runner, and then one of them to be my wild card, and then the 2 are kind of like they're in for a shot. I don't think they will. I think they're being pushed out a little bit more by the other ones. So I think Green Book will win this category,
and I think that's probably a good call.
Yeah, and I think Black Panther will be the wild card because the popular vote film that they had going on a couple of like months ago, you know, where they were like, "Hey, we're going to do a popular movie vote kind of thing, and it's going to be done by the audience."
That died in the design phases, didn't it? It was like, we're going to do it. Everybody heard about it and went, "Don't," and they were like, "Okay, we're not doing the popular film thing anymore."
I'm so happy about them killing that.
You still got a shot at it.
That was stupid. I know better than that. It'll never happen again.
Also, I think that popular category is where Black Panther was supposed to go for them. I think it was what they had in mind when they were talking about doing it in some ways. So this is maybe a remnant of that as well.
Yeah, so I think that's why it's my wildcard one. The other 2 I have is probably the Roma and Vice is probably the other 2 that are like a good, like are in for a good run.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I think, and Roma, I'm going to get it out of the bag now. Roma is an unbelievable favourite for a lot of things. It's probably run the best Oscars campaign. Fair play to Netflix. You know, they've done well since they got into the film game and started doing theatrical releases just to be eligible for things like this.
Yeah.
There's talk of them joining the Motion Picture of America Association, the MPAA. That's maybe in the works. They may be the first streaming service to ever join.
Wow.
But that's whether or not the club will let them in.
Yeah.
And that's where you have an interesting theory as to why Roma won't win. And I thought it was a very good point. And I think it was your phrasing. So
yeah, so I don't think Roma, even though it's in my 2 that are in the running kind of thing, I don't think it will win because I don't think the Oscars are ready or the Academy is ready for a Netflix film to be the winner.
Yeah.
Now,
I say thing being ready. I think it's more a case of it's not whether or not Netflix are good enough or the movie's good enough. It's whether or not the Oscars are ready.
Yeah, like it's the fact is that though Roma was released for a limited time in cinemas and stuff, that was specifically to fill the Academy Awards kind of rule sets, which it has to have a limited release or has to have a release in cinemas. So, but I still don't think they're ready. And there is another Netflix show somewhere else in the categories.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that later on.
Scruggs comes up later on. So I'm going to go for mine. So what do I think will win? And you talked about a wager on this, which I'm not too sure because I also think Green Book is very, very likely. But my pick for what will win is Vice. And I think that's because of the political climate. For the first time ever, I think actual politics may help a film that's about actual politics that are not of the moment maybe do better than it otherwise would. There's a lot of people, Democrats, liberals, whatever way you want to look at them, the Hollywood liberal as they're referred to, are now almost fondly looking back at their old competitors and their old opponents in Republican classic, which Cheney typified the devil to them a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people looking back in hindsight are like, oh God, you can get much worse than that from their point of view.
Like, didn't they portrayed him in SNL?
Oh yeah, Dick Cheney was the actual Grim Reaper, I think. And possibly the devil in another sketch. So yeah, I think Vice might just be so of the moment that it's my one that I think might get that Oscars bump. Do I think that, you got to look past Spike Lee's Black Klansman to kind of go anything that wins has to have beaten Spike Lee in probably what is now going to be considered one of his best films ever.
Yeah.
So like that's in with a shout. Green Book or Vice? I'm going to go with Vice because you've gone with Green Book. If it's not them, then I think Black Klansman would be a good shout.
So you've got Vice as the winner, Black Klansman is a good shout, Green Book also is a good shout. Do you have an outside winner?
I think I'd love to put the favourite in that role. I would love to put the favourite in that role. Winner. Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't stand a chance.
See, yeah, I think because it's a period piece and a costume drama that it's very hard for it to win. Now, like, that's not true because Lincoln has won, or Lincoln won not Best Picture, but won Best Actor.
Yeah. Which Daniel Day-Lewis had a lock on Best Actor anytime he was in the category.
So I feel like, the favorite, because it's a costume drama and a period piece, it will not win. But I do believe that
I wouldn't hate it if it did, though. I wouldn't be upset if it did win.
No, I'd be upset because I'd lose the bet. But
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, stakes on that bet. So let's say I'll back Vice if you're backing Green Book.
yeah.
And I think that's you have massive odds in your favor, so I want you to take it easy when we're setting the terms in this.
Well, so the default term that we're going to go for is whoever wins will buy the other one lunch. And if none of them are chosen, then we'll just buy lunch. But we also want to set up a whole thing where the audience also chooses.
Yeah.
So if you comment down below what you think the bet should be on, and we find one that's not gross or anything, we'll probably pick it. Or we'll say we pick it and stuff like that. We'll probably tweet it out or that kind of stuff. All right,
well, let's just see how wrong that went. Let's look in the comments below. I'm virtually looking in the comments below. This was going to be a whole cut thing.
Oh, do you want me to look as well?
That didn't work, but comments below.
What the hell was that?
So we'll check the comments about the bet. And as I said, if you haven't...
Yeah, anything gross won't be happening, but anything really funny that's realistic, you never know, might happen. So be creative, but be kind. Next category. So on to our next category, and I think if you're on for it, I think we should go for lead actress.
No, that's a very good call, yeah.
So
continue strong.
So lead actress. I am going to read the nominations. And I'm going to not read the top one first because I'm going to try and build up to the pronunciation. I'm going to start with Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me? Katy Perry, as Paul calls Lady Gaga, for A Star Is Born.
I'm so wrong all the time.
Olivia Colman for The Favourite. Glenn Close for The Wife. And
See, I usually get the hard names, so this is a great call for me. So
Taika Waititi. No,
well, okay, fine. Well, let's see this one.
Yaitza Aparicio.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We'll go with that. I'm really, really sorry that I have messed up your name. And that's for Roma, which will not surprise you, is nominated all over the places we talked about. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have a go at another name that I'm going to get wrong in a little while. So I wish Paul had been reading out the nominations there. Lead actress. I'm going to go first with the who I think will win and who I think should win.
So are we going to do are we going to go for three ones? So
well, it's a much shorter category than above. So I think we gotta make it harder and limit ourselves to two. Your winner and your either outsider who you want. Okay, no.
Well, no, because I think we both know we both got the same two.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, and Brew, if you're watching, you wanted conflict. It's going to happen because we don't agree on many categories. Actually, after all, we did talk earlier.
Yeah.
This one I think we do. So I'm gonna go. Will we just go with?
You go first.
Yeah. So I think Olivia Colman will take it for The Favourite, and I'm really, really happy about that. So she's not only my who will win, but she's the who I'd want to win and who I think should win. After that, I'll be quite happy if Melissa McCarthy wins. I'd be very, very happy for her body of work. She's outperformed what she's been given a lot of times. I know not everybody agrees with me on Melissa McCarthy, but
yeah,
you know what? Just watch this space. I think in a few years I'll be vindicated on Melissa McCarthy, and I think this is going to be her break into doing more. This is not her last Oscar nomination.
No, I don't think it's her last, but I don't think it's going to be the one.
No, I don't know, but that's why I said she's my outside, and I won't be upset. So,
yeah, no.
Do I think she'll win? No.
Good.
But if she does, I'll be very, very happy.
I don't think she's going to win.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, well, that's we're both agreed that Glenn Close and Olivia Colman is definitely the front runners for that. But I do think that now I have to try pronounce the name.
Oh,
because I think the outsider is oh fuck, I am real bad at names. Yalitza No, I'm just going to say
that's good. So the lady from Roma.
So Yalitza Palchik. No, that's even worse.
I'll tell you what. Let's do this as our second round bet in the comments below. Who pronounced it worse or better? Because we both butchered the same name.
It's
now.
definitely you.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I didn't
now.
even get past the second name.
Well, no, that's true. At least I
Yalitza El Pecoa.
lean into it, man. Lean into it. Just go for it.
Yalitza El Pecoa.
There we go. That's who it was.
So from Roma, I think she's the outside winner because, or she's my wild card kind of thing. Because for Roma and stuff like that, I do think that it will not get Best Picture, but I do believe that somewhere, maybe not
It'll
best
get awards.
maybe not Best Director. I'm still kind of up in the air for Best Director. But yeah, I think it's gonna.
Well, whoever wins, there's one thing for sure. If it isn't Glenn Close, you just won in a category that Glenn Close was in, which is like it's kind of second only to beating Meryl Streep in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that is true.
It's like that's you don't just say you won an Oscar. You say I won an Oscar in the same category as Glenn Close. People are like, damn.
Yeah, no, I do think
That's
I do
serious.
think that with Glenn Close and Olivia Colman in the thing, I do think, oh man, I really wish Olivia Colman wins.
I really hope so too. Well, deep down, I really hope Melissa McCarthy wins now because you're so sure she won't. But I'm pretty sure she won't. Also,
If she wins, I will
finish that sentence.
I will on camera say that Patrick was right.
Do you know what? That's fine. But all I'll really want is you pronouncing the lead actress from Roma's name. That's that.
Okay, do you want me to learn? I'll learn her.
Yeah, phonetically.
We're not. Sorry for making light of getting your name wrong.
Yeah, no, it's our failing, not your fault.
Well, it's obviously okay. It's obviously our fault.
Yeah, exactly. It's our failing, not your fault.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I thought you were going to go. It is her fault. Why isn't she called Dave?
That would be so worse.
Change your name to Dave. Damn it. How about we keep the actor thing going and we go on to lead actor.
Continuing to be strong.
Yes, another very, very packed category with great people. Nominees are Christian Bale for Vice, Bradley Cooper, A Star Is Born, Willem Dafoe, At Eternity's Gate, Rami Malek, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Viggo Mortensen for Green Book.
Just to let you know, Oscars. By the way, we're available also to host. I know you're not going for a host this year, which is a bit weird.
There's always next year,
but we're always available. You can see, or even as one presenter, like as a presenter for one movie, best picture.
Oh, I thought you meant one of us. I thought you were like, oh, take me, leave him behind.
No, God, no, we're partners.
Jesus, I thought you were cutting my throat right on camera there.
Okay, so
but what I will say, Oscars, we have to get this out there. We will learn to pronounce everyone's name just about.
Well,
I can't promise we'll get it exactly right, but there'll be comedy in there.
Definitely not going to do a John Travolta. All right, Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, William Dafoe, Rami Malek, and Viggo Mortensen. So I'm going to go first, I guess, because you did the actresses. My top pick is I'm going to say Rami Malek.
For Freddie Mercury.
For Freddie Mercury, Bohemian Rhapsody. I think he's going to win. Not that I don't want him to win. I think that there's a better, like this, Christian Bale's on that for Vice.
Yeah.
And though I think he won the Golden Globes for Best Actor in a drama. And I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's going to win because of that. Not because of that, but
yeah.
But like.
Well, here's the thing. We didn't cover it in Best Picture, but we'd actually talked about it before. Bohemian Rhapsody, it's worth covering really quickly. Bohemian Rhapsody is a film that we both loved. We both made an entire video about loving lots. Now, it didn't actually make it out. But trust us, we were both very, very pleased with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
But I think we're both of the mind that it may not necessarily... Well, I think it's not necessarily deserving of an Oscar nomination if the Oscar category for Best Picture was shorter. Like, of the list, it's at the bottom of my list for that Oscar, or close to.
Yeah, I still say Black Panther's the
well, yeah, I forgot Black Panther was there.
Black Panther and Bohemian Rhapsody. I like that they got the nod, but I don't think Black Panther should be in there.
No,
I think Infinity War should be there, but we're going off topic, I guess.
I think when it comes to things like actor, definitely it makes sense. That performance was electric.
It was very, very good, yeah.
But again, I think it's maybe an over-nominated film a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on there because it's very, very good. I just don't know if it's that good.
Yeah, I think
I loved it, but
yeah. So there might I don't really have an outsider for this one. Like it's a fairly strong crowd, you know, kind of thing. So you got, but Rami Malek and Christian Bale would be my front runners for this one.
Yeah, I think weirdly, I think Christian Bale's a good call. So he's kind of who I think probably should win. And I'm going to go ahead and say Bradley Cooper may well get it. He might get it now because of what's happened since the nominations. Everybody's pointing out that he wasn't nominated for Best Director.
For A Star Is Born.
For A Star Is Born. So there may be, because remember, voting hasn't happened yet for the winners of this.
It happens the 2 weeks or a week before?
Basically, yeah, a week after next. So I think if that buzz keeps happening, I think people might end up voting for him in Best Actor because he's not on the ballot for Director. So he might, I'm not saying sympathy votes, but I think it might sway it a little bit his way in a little bit of a surprise. So if you're looking for a shock on the night, I'd say Bradley Cooper. I think Christian Bale has it. And as much as we said for Glenn Close, anybody that wins this category that isn't Viggo Mortensen has just won in a category with Viggo Mortensen. I know that'd make me very, very happy.
Well, in fairness, Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, William Dafoe, Rami Malek, and you know, Viggo Mortensen. But that's a fucking strong ass. Like,
yeah, I know everybody always says it's an honor to be nominated with these people, but crikey, they can really make it there.
Yeah, there's some very, very, like, you know, there's a couple of these ones where we're just like, man, if you were in that, I'd be proud just to be there, you know?
Yeah, I'd also be like, there's no way in hell I'd be winning. Now Willem Dafoe is probably not up for his last Oscar. I don't think anybody's going to be doing that weird thing of, oh, well, they have to give him. I think if he wins, it's another deserving win for Willem Dafoe. He's that good.
So our next category will be,
I believe it will be supporting actor. Will it? Shall we do that next?
Yeah.
If you have no preference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we said we're going to end with
probably going to end with director. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the category of Best Supporting Actor, the nominees are, I've always kind of wanted to say that seriously, and the nominees are Mahershala Ali, Green Book, Adam Driver, Black Klansman, Sam Elliott, A Star Is Born, Richard E. Grant, Can You Ever Forgive Me, Sam Rockwell, Vice. Continuing the theme of amazingly strong people, oh gosh, you know, when you read that out loud.
Yeah, no, I think this is a really strong Oscar year, but it's kind of like it's got that kind of like air around it that the little things are kind of like little rumblings around it. Like we got what is this? Kevin Hart's kind of like
presenter, not presenter.
Yeah, kind of thing. So like, as I said, I think there's slight controversies or slight dramas going around the Oscars, but the actual nominations and stuff are very strong throughout.
Yeah, so, and I've realised that I haven't really been speaking into the mic, folks. And Paul, you were quite rightly, you're quite right to be annoyed at me for not actually setting up my mic before we went. I think if I was to pick a winner that I want to win and who I think will win, they will be two different people. For starters, Mahershala Ali has already won an Oscar for Moonlight. Mm-hmm. Sam Rockwell already won an Oscar for Three Billboards. Long overdue. Yeah. So everybody loves Sam Rockwell. I don't know if he'll win for Vice. I don't think Mahershala Ali will win. So I really think it's Adam Driver, Black Klansman. I think this is where Black Klansman will get the nod. And the reason I'm not campaigning for Adam Driver, but the reason I think he might actually do it, is he has a strong body of work. Everybody in Hollywood does appreciate him at this stage. He's also got the name brand recognition from the Star Wars movies. So it's a win-win for Academy people who are voting for business reasons and for other reasons. People who are voting thinking, oh, well, you know, it's good if it's somebody that people really recognize, or, you know, this looks like we're reaching out to the people. I also would like Adam Driver to win in a lot of ways, but not as much as I'd like the next guy to win. Paul?
So you've got Adam Driver as your favourite to win.
Yeah, but who do you want to win? It's the same as the guy I want to win. Who do you want?
Yeah, see, this is the thing is, I also think Adam Driver is probably going to win. You know, sorry for not the conflict. Adam Driver is a strong supporting role in Black Klansman, so I kind of can't see why he wouldn't be.
but your heart wants
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
I really want him to win.
Because mustache.
It's not even because we
like,
got different reasons.
Everything about that man. He's a work of art. He's class.
Yeah, 50 years in the industry kind of says it all. So
he's one of the voices of Hollywood too.
Oh my god,
we discussed the voices. We threw out a few names actually. You've got him. You've got James Earl Jones. You had Alan Rickman,
Morgan Freeman.
Like he's just amazing.
Yeah, I was saying that I would really like to just have him. I'd like to bring him out to like a pristine, like really nice scenery and stuff like that, and have him describe it and record it, and then just go to sleep to that every single night. Because I think his voice describing beautiful scenery would just be incredible.
The dude abides. I don't know about you, but I take comfort in that.
But,
I actually wouldn't mind him describing traffic that I'm stuck in because I think it'd make it easier.
I think Morgan Freeman would be really good for that one.
No, I'm not even doing my Morgan Freeman. I don't think we'll be that disappointed because I think it probably is one of those two. Richard E. Grant might, you never know, he might win. It might be a surprise.
I say Sam Rockwell as an outsider, maybe.
Yeah,
like
maybe.
I like Sam Rockwell. Like the George Bush kind of portrayal is supposed to be quite kind of quirky and kind of nice and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be upset for him winning, but I do think Adam Driver's gonna take it.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. There's nobody there I don't want to see win. So it's a good one.
I'll be upset if Sam Elliott doesn't win though.
You know what? I'm just looking forward to if he gets up. The minute he starts speaking, everybody will be like, "Oh, good choice." If you want somebody to do an acceptance speech,
my God,
if Adam Driver wins, he should be like, "Sam, will you go up and read whatever you were going to read?"
Hello, I can't do the voice, but just believe it in Sam Elliott. But it's just like, "Hello, Mom. Thank you for I'd like to thank the Academy Award. Oh, it will be so good. It will be such a good.
I'd like to thank the Academy. Oh, he's great. Anyway, we've got to get over that love fest. Sorry.
I wonder if he would be like, I'd like to say it's about fucking time, because that's what he said for when he was.
That's when he got his nomination.
That's alleged what he said when he first found out that he was
very
nominated.
Believable that he said. It
is, but
and also whichever one of us ends up doing the edit, we're going to cut in as much Sam as we can around this point, so you know that voice, because you might recognize the name. Not everybody does. Weirdly.
No.
But you will recognize the face, the mustache, and the voice.
Best part of Ghost Rider.
Best part. Actually, good call. Although that's maybe faint praise.
God knows I've made my share of mistakes. Been trying to make things right ever since.
I do like Nick Cage in that film, but man, Sam Elliott in that face, he's the gravedigger.
I like Nick Cage in a
whole host of movies
in a straitjacket. I do love the man, but God, he's something special.
Have you seen him? Just to make it, have you seen Nicolas Cage doing the voice acting in for Spider-Man Noir? You see
like him in the actual booth,
because you see all the other voice actors are just like, hey, I'm Peter Parker, and then it's like Nicolas Cage, and he's just like, I am, and it's so good when you watch it.
It was dark. Streets were wet and cold.
So
he did a great job at Spider-Man 1.
I'll link that video down to below. It's so good.
Yeah. John Mulaney also tells a really adorable story about his first day in the recording booth as Spider-Ham, Peter Porker, where they said have fun with it, and he did. So he was cursing the entire time, and then they were all like, "Oh, great!" And he said, "So what rating is this movie going to be?" And when they told him, he's like, "So you can't use any of that." And they're like, "Nope."
Yeah,
but you had fun with it.
I guess all right.
Yeah, you get it out. Why not? I'm sure they were able to cut in one line out of that entire day. Next up,
supporting actress.
Supporting actress again. Strong. Amy Adams, Vice. Marina de Tavira for Roma. Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk. Emma Stone for The Favourite, and Rachel Weisz also for The Favourite. Would you like to go first, or shall I?
I think you went for the last one, so I'll go first. I think. This is a difficult one. I'm going to say Rachel.
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz. I think she's going to be the front runner for me. And I think Amy Adams is going to be the kind of backup for that kind of thing.
Well, Brian, you're going to love this, and I'm giving your full name on the internet because I told you I would. It's a long story. He asked us, he wanted more conflict. Here comes the conflict. The last person on that list that I think is going to actually win, Rachel Weisz.
Oh, yeah?
I think she is... Yeah, I think she's probably... she's last. And I think the absolute winner, I'm not even going to give anybody else a look in, is going to be Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk. That's about the only one of all the categories that I'd actually have a bet and let people choose. Because I don't trust you people. You'll be putting weird stuff in there. I'm not shaving his back or anything weird. Don't...
Good, because I don't have any hair there. It would just be awful for both of us.
You don't... let's compare backs later. I think Regina King is a shoe-in. If I was to pick an outsider, it's going to be Amy Adams. I kind of agree with you a little bit on that, but even then, it's a long second place. So that'll be interesting. I think on the night, that's going to be an interesting one for us when it comes up.
Yeah, we're also debating... put down in the comments below quickly if you want to watch a live stream of us watching the Oscars.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so tell us if you feel like that would be something that you kind of want to do, and we'll have it happen.
If you'd watch it, let us know if you'd watch that, because if none of you are there, we're not going to be there either.
No.
Okay, then we are into the good stuff, aren't we?
So we're going to go into are we going to go into our like alternatives, or I think we should do director.
I think we should do director. This is the big cheese moment.
Well, I think for us,
and also I think because it's about the only other thing. There's two things that have gotten a bit of traction since the nominations came out, as far as controversy or snubs, and that was Bradley Cooper for director, which is this category.
Yeah.
But also, I think what's kind of eclipsed that is a lot of people are pointing out that there are no female directors nominated. Now, just out of interest, I had a look to see, who really realistically would be eligible. So I looked at the other categories to see what films had a female director. And wouldn't you know it, the director for the people in the best lead actress... No, not lead actress. Supporting actress, wasn't it? No.
Is it If Beale Street
It's
Could Talk?
it's Can You Ever Forgive Me? Melissa McCarthy for
That
lead
was it,
actress.
sorry.
Can You Ever Forgive Me was also Richard E. Grant. So supporting actor and best actress. That lady's name is Marielle Heller. Now, to say that why isn't there any female directors here, I don't know enough to say whether or not there's a lot of films that had been skipped out that have been female directed this year, or directed by women. People are saying it for whatever reason, but I have a funny feeling that it's one of those things that somebody was going to say something, and I think this might be the something. And that is not taking away from any realities. That's just maybe a little gut feeling on day one of the nominations. I'll be interested to see if that's still a furore in a few days.
Or if, yeah, I understand that kind of thing.
I wonder if it'll kind of burn out.
So yeah, I'm curious. Would you have a category of female directors?
No.
That's kind of an option. You wouldn't have it at all.
No way.
Because I'm of the mind, why the hell do we have
best actress, best actor?
Yeah.
That's a different debate for me.
I know, I understand that there's more of each.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I just think that, you just have more of them in the nominations.
I understand. The difference is you're playing, and there's no way to avoid that there are traditionally, I don't want to say the words traditionally, two genders, but what I'm about to say leans to the idea
So
that
I put you into a difficult place.
You put me in a slightly awkward.
We
No,
could just not have. I could ask the question: would you think there should be a female director?
no, I'm fine. This can all stay in. I'm not going to say anything too controversial, but the reason I think I understand actor and actress is because historically there have been two different roles there. There is no reason why the gender of a director would matter for the job of directing, but you get given different material as men and women, and you're portraying two different sides of what is the majority sexual divide on the planet. Mm-hmm. I know there are many genders to be considered in the future, but I think I understand why actor female, actor male has been a thing, whereas I don't understand why director would ever be gender based.
But would you ever think that it might actually cause an influx of more
Oh, I understand.
female directors.
I understand the argument. I'll say the same thing.
Because like if you had a category that was female directors, you would have to go find films that had female directors, and it would actually be like this kind of slight indie female director kind of like part and stuff.
Yeah, but you'll only ever win as best female director, not best director.
No, I understand. As in, like, I definitely think that they should like, you know, make an effort to kind of like, you know, encourage more female directors and
for
stuff
sure.
like that. But you know, I thought it might be a good like. Well,
no, I can see why. I guess I've been through this exact debate with motorsport. Weirdly, of all things, folks, we're on a slight tangent, not for long. The idea of whether or not there should be a separate championship for women and men when it comes to something like, let's say, Formula One. And my big argument against that is I would hate to be in a position where anybody's ever going, well, that's the best female driver. It's like, no, that lady could beat all the men, and we're denying her the chance to get in there and do that. Or vice versa, you know, you don't want to be the best male driver and have somebody go, oh yeah, but all the females are stronger.
Yeah.
You want to be able to prove yourself against whomever.
Oh no, I definitely agree.
But no, interesting question.
No, I just thought,
this is good content, folks.
You know, I just thought it would be an interesting kind of conversation, because I definitely get your point with the whole you know, actress and actor kind of thing. I think
that could go away eventually, but I understand why it's there.
Yeah, no, I understand currently why it's there and stuff, but I also feel that, you know, it should be kind of like, you know, inclusive to the both genders. But I do actually, your point of the fact is that they are, you know, they do tend to play different roles in that kind of sense.
Different roles, or have options of different.
Yeah, so I do get that point. That's a very good one.
Well, actually, and I'm happy though. You're watching. Enjoy this conversation. We're going to divert from the Oscars for another minute, because I think it's a good enough question, and I want to ask you, because I think it's interesting to say, well, shouldn't something be done to encourage? And I think things like the Oscars particularly should be an encouragement. Encouragement to foreign language film, as this year is kind of showing. Encouragement to directors from different countries, from different socioeconomic backgrounds. It should help promote diversity.
Yeah.
It should never pander and pretend diversity, because that's annoying when the Oscars does that. But when it comes to female directors particularly, it's been a thing for a few years. Catherine Bigelow's still the only winner that's been a woman. So what would you do if not having a separate category? Do you have any good ideas there to like a quota system feels fake or weird?
No, a quota system doesn't, like I do get your point of kind of inclusivism. That kind of ruins our point of the Oscars being elitist. But I do understand that, you know, an award show should be more, especially a award show of this caliber, should be the fact that it should try to engage and encourage the art to grow and further expand. I don't know how you could fix, you know, the fact that there isn't as many. I guess it will be like the members of the actual Academy to try their best in searching out maybe films that are backed by female directors and stuff like that.
There you go, but maybe the Academy should, because right now it's up to films themselves to campaign and promote.
It's films, but it's also studios. As in studios, I don't know. Like, I don't think it's a sexist thing of studios just not picking female directors and things. No. I think it's just, once again, it's if you're trying to get a movie made, and you can put a well-known male director in onto it, I don't think you're going to like, you know, pick one of the other, like another female thing. Now, once again, that's more fame, you know, kind of thing. That's not gender based.
But here's because you just made me think of one small step that could take. For the Academy to vote on something, the Academy has to have seen it. For it to make the nominations, there's a certain amount of campaigning. Perhaps it would be a good idea to make sure that the Academy themselves has a small panel of people that will search out films and make sure that there is some sort of representation for what's seen. And I'm talking way back, 6 months ago, so that they can, stop things that maybe don't have the money, that don't have, the top line studio support. Smaller films don't always get in front of the Academy. And as you pointed out, some of the best female directors are probably still stuck making smaller films and not getting into that break level because they aren't attached to studios that are going to put them
send out the screeners and put the campaign together and really reach out to the Academy.
Yeah.
So maybe they could do something proactively themselves.
Yeah.
And that's not to secure a nomination place, but just to make sure that you've been seen. That's all it is.
No, I definitely agree there. It kind of showing. But once again, I don't think it's right to specifically. It might be a good idea to sort out smaller films, but not
no, I didn't mean by gender. I meant like go and find smaller films, because that's where a lot of female directors may be plying their trade. Oh no, I'm not suggesting they go and look based on gender.
Yeah, no, because then I definitely have a problem. But taking a proactive kind of approach towards it would be a good idea,
because that's how you get around these sorts of inequalities. I think is to make sure that everybody gets looked at to the best of your ability. And why is somebody usually not looked at? It's because of a pre-existing setup, be that social or otherwise. And in this case, I think it's usually money.
Well, we all
or
know,
studio support.
Well, we all know that the fact is that movies don't get really made into big, huge box office things if you can't put a famous actor towards it, and also a fairly well-known director. Yeah, they're the two kind of they're the two kind of linchpins of the.
Well, they're the marquee names, directed by, starring. Yeah.
So like pushing the fact that we need to have new blood into the directorship kind of level of things is kind of good. And we've already seen that, there's some fantastic movies that have come out.
Yeah, well, Patty Jenkins is going to be along any minute now going, if Black Panther can be nominated, will you see Wonder Woman 1984? This is going to be awesome. Back on track. We were about to talk about directors. I thank you for that question, though, because that was an interesting aside. Director nominations, we have not gone through. I just spotted a name that I'm going to mess up.
So the best directors nominations are,
and he looks at me, Spike Lee for Black Klansman, Paul Powalski. You're for Cold War, Yorgos Lanthimos for The Favourite, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, and Adam McKay for Vice. Again, apologies for the pronunciation. This is getting kind of embarrassing. I'm going to go first, will I?
Yes.
Then my pick for what I think will win, Roma, again, I said at the start, I'm not going to be picking Roma in any category that I, can avoid it. Roma's probably going to win. But actually, you know what I think is probably going to win is Vice. I think Vice will win. That's my bet. I think Adam McKay has done enough to deserve it as well. I think he has an interesting filmography from comedy all the way up to films like this. But what do I think maybe should win or would be an outside bet? I think Spike Lee, Black Klansman, it might be about time from a director nod point of view. He's won for screenplay. He hasn't won for director.
No, he hasn't. Well, as far as I'm aware, no.
No. So I think if it's not Vice, I think it's going to be Black Klansman. And I'll be honest, I'll be happy either way. If Roma wins, I think it'll be really interesting, because that would send the strongest message to your point of, are they ready for Netflix?
Well, see, this is my other thing is I think Roma's going to win Best Director.
Oh, you think?
And I think it's going to be the nod towards it being, we're not ready for Netflix streaming or Netflix originals to be Best Picture, but you definitely did a really, really good job in the kind of the directing kind of thing. So it's as you were saying that Bradley Cooper wasn't in the Best Directors, but he might get the leading actors.
You think you won't get Best Film, but you will get Best Director. This is you're not quite in the club yet. You're not in the club, but you're on the list.
Yeah, kind of thing. So I think Roma will win. I want.
Yeah, who do you want?
Oh, I don't know. Spike Lee and Adam McKay are really good. I guess those. Yeah, Spike Lee and Adam McKay. It's kind of hard because I don't think the favorite's going to win. I don't think for director. I don't think, and Cold War. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of it.
No, so I guess we'll be watching out to see if it's not Roma, and if it isn't, be very, very happy with Black Klansman. But my guess is Vice.
That sounds good.
That was Best Director, and we're going to move on to some of the other categories that we have picked ourselves.
Yeah, some of the ones that I think the best way to describe this is the ones that we're maybe most interested in for selfish reasons, but also some that could have a surprise. I think it's pretty obvious, and this is something that should have come up during Best Picture. Animated feature. Will I read the nominations? Will I even bother with the nominations?
No, because actually there's one in there that I keep forgetting that actually came out.
Okay. So nominations for Best Animated Feature are Incredibles 2, I Love Dogs, Mirai, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
So I forgot that Isle of Dogs.
Isle of Dogs, yeah,
which is a really good kind of Wes Anderson film kind of thing. It's
possibly his best.
It's not. Yeah, it's a no.
Yeah, well, possibly, but no. Yeah.
It's a very good film, but I completely forgot out that it was eligible for this.
No, it's in the time window. It just feels like it's much longer ago.
Yeah, because I think I saw it at the start of 2018.
Probably because it was out pretty early.
So
here's a quick question though, just a quick question on this topic. Will anything or should anything ever beat Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
I think Incredible 2.
You think it will?
Yeah.
Should it?
No.
Okay, we're safe. I thought I was going to have to kill my co-host.
No, Spider-Man. We both agreed. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is one of the best films. that have come out. It transcends the fact that it's an animated film. It's so good, like visuals, plot, characters, acting. Like,
emotion,
everything.
It does. I only really rate films on one scale when it comes down to it. You can talk about films in all sorts of ways, but if you have to have a tiebreaker, it's like, did the film grab you and make you feel things, be they good things, bad things, whatever, but did it elicit an emotional reaction? Yes, it did on multiple occasions in different ways.
Yeah.
So much so that I'm going to go right back to the start of this video. Should Black Panther be in Best Picture? Not when Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse exists.
No, if that's the case, I would definitely think that Spider-Verse would be, in my opinion, the Black Panther.
Because screw first comic book movie nomination for Best Picture for Black Panther. This is the film. Best Animated Feature, Best Feature. It would be a runner for me.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
It wouldn't be like Black Panther, or Black Panther is my wild cards in the fact that it's just because it's been chosen for the nominations. If it wasn't in Spider-Man, it would be which goes.
If Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was there, I would have been putting it in as my outside just because it's so anybody who's seen it will love it.
I would put it in my top two. Not for so I think.
You still think Green Book would beat it? Green Book would beat it? I think Vice might beat it too, just knowing the people who are voting. But
see, that's the thing is, I think Green Book would win, and I think out of my two, which was Vice and I think I can't even remember Bohemian Rhapsody. No, Roma. I think Spider-Man would be in my top four kind of thing, and not The Outsider.
I can't stress this enough, folks. If you haven't seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, do. It doesn't really matter what your preconceived notions about animated films might be. Do you remember the first time you went and saw Toy Story and everybody thought, oh yeah, this computer animation thing will never work? Times that by 5,
so good.
And you've got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's groundbreaking stuff. But it also then, because
I think Incredibles 2 is going to win though.
I don't. I don't, because I'm not a man of great faith, but I believe in some sort of universal... No, I don't actually, but God, no. That'd annoy me.
I really want Spider-Verse to win. I think Incredibles 2 is going to win.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to be watching that category so closely, not for anything other than if something beats it. I don't really care what else would win if it doesn't. That's a category of there's a winner and then everybody else.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw out a quick one, actually, if you don't mind.
This is your one, yeah.
Yeah, best documentary feature. There's a list here that, the RBG, the Ruth Bader Ginsburg documentaries there. I'm not going to bother going into it. Free Solo is a film about free climber that, again, has not come out here yet, which is really annoying. It's going to win. It's one of those films that when a documentary has as much buzz and as much Oscar press as it has, it's beating anything else in the category more than likely. I don't see anything beating it, and it's one of those. It's only interesting to me not because of the film or other films in the category. It's that classic Oscars campaign moment. I will be very, very surprised if anything beats it. The Ruth Bader Ginsburg thing, unfortunately, she's not well right now as we speak, apparently.
No.
So that could affect things, but let's hope that doesn't on many levels. Stay well. Best foreign language film is kind of funny because in that category you have
Oh, wow.
yeah, I know. Capernaum, Cold War, Never Look Away, Roma, and Shoplifters. So Roma is in Roma. It's unfair that it's in the foreign language film category. It's just unfair.
Yeah, it really is. It's probably going to win.
I would say it probably is. Although, having said that, wouldn't it be really funny if it won, Best Picture and then didn't win Best Foreign Language Film, and Cold War won it because it's been nominated elsewhere?
Well, that's the question. Would that,
because what would that then be saying?
Well, that's the thing is, if it won best film, would you make it eligible to win Best Foreign Film, or would you specifically?
And the fact that it is a foreign language film and is there, should that category not exist, and should foreign language films not just be in Best Picture?
Well, I do. That's a
different question altogether.
Yeah,
but,
I'm just wondering, would you? So, if you were the Academy, would you, if it was in both categories, would you let it win? If it was
if it won Best Picture, for me, if I was in the Academy and I could rig things, I'd be like, oh my god, if it wins Best Picture, please make sure it wins Best Foreign Language Film.
Really? Okay.
Because we're in a lot of trouble if it doesn't. Because people are going to go, there's a better foreign language film and you didn't put it into Best Picture. What the hell?
Yeah.
Because that would look like actual racism out loud in a weird way. It would actually be like, well, we picked this for our best film. The best film is this foreign language film, but the best foreign language film is this other thing. It's just a little too foreign to be in our best.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you explain it like that, yeah, no, I definitely.
Yeah, that would be weird and creepy for them and for everybody else involved.
Oh, agreed.
So, Roma, that's what's going to win that?
Yeah, we both agreed.
Probably. I said Cold War is an outside bet, just because it's been nominated elsewhere, and unfortunately now I haven't seen the others. I've heard good things about Shoplifters, actually. Sound editing. This is going to bring up something else that should have been in Best Picture.
Yeah.
I will read them out. So, sound editing: Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, First Man, A Quiet Place, and Roma. And we're not talking about First Man here, people. Paul?
No, I'll go through them. I'll go for me anyway. I'll
Yeah.
go through them. Black Panther's sound editing was great. It was very, very good, very solid kind of stuff. The music and everything like that was fantastic. I can. There's no fault from my sitting of the sound editing for Black Panther. Bohemian Rhapsody, once again, also a solid sound editing. Everything was fine.
First Man, similarly, why not?
Well, Bohemian Rhapsody, I really like the fact that they period pieced everything with songs in the background kind of thing, which was very good. First Man, I really enjoyed the sound pieces for these. Mm-hmm. The film was not. It was a really very good film, but I don't think it was a very strong film. What you got?
Roma.
Oh, you're gonna.
I'm skipping over. Well, okay.
Roma, I haven't seen, so which I can't really.
Well, see, I've already shot the bolt on this because I actually tweeted from our account the other night about this not the other night. I tweeted when the nominations came out. I tweeted straight away when I saw A Quiet Place in this, going basically, Quiet Place is going to win for sound editing. There's a little bit of irony that A Quiet Thing's going to win for sound, but no film that I can ever remember, no film that I can remember has used sound, and because of that sound editing being so important, no film has done what they did.
None
that I can think of. There is no peer.
No, as in. See, this is the one thing that we were leaving out, or we wait for the last part.
Yeah,
A Quiet Place, I definitely believe should have been in the Best Picture awards.
There's no two ways about it. A Quiet Place should have been in the running. Spider-Verse, what we just said about that, same thing. Quiet Place, you have no excuse. It's not an animated film. It should have been in there.
So here's the thing: is if you got rid of Black Panther and replace it with Spider-Man, what else would you get rid of to add A Quiet Place?
Probably Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, okay.
Because I really like Bohemian Rhapsody, but
no, we both agree that Bohemian Rhapsody and Black Panther don't we're happy that they got the nominations, but we're happy that Bohemian Rhapsody got the nomination.
There's a few things I would remove to get A Quiet Place in there when you consider just how good it is. Like it's that good. You know, I rate it as it's one of the it's easily the best in last year in the non-animated category, thanks to Spider-Verse being animated. I can say that. Like it's the best motion picture, I think, for me last year in a lot of ways.
It's so good. That's the use of sound and everything like that. The visuals are perfect. The plot is very easy to understand and stuff like that. It gets through the plot without using a proper like exposition.
Yep.
Which is really, really interesting. So I definitely think it should be in the
talk
best.
About making you feel things. It was a 4D experience in a 2D cinema. You're part of the film just by the fact that if you try and chew on a piece of popcorn or crunch a nacho, you're exactly. You are psychologically on edge for your own behavior in the film. So, you know, it's if you haven't seen The Quiet Place, and you know who I'm talking to out there, because I've been telling you to watch it for a long time, get it watched. Find a way. Watch that film.
So for the last category that we have picked to add to the show is the original song.
Yeah. And the nominees are All the Stars from Black Panther, I'll Fight from RGB, The Place Where Lost Things Go from Mary Poppins, Shallow from A Star Is Born, and When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings, which is from The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, which I'm smiling because I particularly enjoyed that.
It was a very good. The coach. So we're going to go on a little tangent again. The coach scene is just, we both agree that you could make that into a full movie.
Oh yes, yeah, and quite a good one at that. No, it was an awesome assembly of little vignettes. Coen Brothers, what the hell, you know? You can't keep a Coen down. Good job, guys. But musically, I did think that opener, I think, since Oh Brother Where Art Thou, that's their best musical work, because you can't say it's their best musical work because someone will just be shouting at the computer, what about Oh Brother Where Art Thou? Like, okay, good point. So I think we're giving away in some ways what I'd like to win would be that. I'll be very, very happy if the Ballad of Buster Scruggs win. There's the Netflix angle, there's the Coen's angle, there's all sorts of angles, but just full stop. It's an interesting original song for a movie.
No. It's a very good opening. Very surprising one as well.
Yeah.
Very well put together. Very, very nice and stuff.
Now, what will win, Katy Perry? Don't kill me for that.
I am not gonna live that down. I also can't see Taika Waititi.
Oh yeah.
Taika Waititi.
Hey.
I've been practicing secretly. I think obviously I think Lady Gaga is going to win.
Yeah.
I also think that maybe Mary Poppins might win as well.
Ooh. Yeah, I kind of look past that because of the Lady Gaga Star Is Born.
I think the Lady Gaga is going to be stronger, but the Mary Poppins song could also be very good as well, because it's a remake of a classic film that was known as a musical and very good. Emily Blunt is very good in it. You've got a very good cast as well,
and she didn't get a nod anywhere else, funny enough, and she did in the Globes.
Yeah.
And Emily Blunt is awesome. So very happy if she did win.
Yeah, no, I would be very happy with that, especially with that song. But I think the stronger one in this category is definitely Lady Gaga, or AKA Paul's not understanding her name and calling her Katy Perry.
It's a callback to one mistake. I've made so many mistakes, and he just lets them go. Like, I'm not even talking into the microphone, and that's the basics of what we're doing here.
See, this behind the veil.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
You sound fine.
Oh, I sound fine.
You sound fine. We're using the newer mic, so
yeah. We've changed our seating position, which is why I keep doing this thing, and I'm also adjusting my mic like a crazy person. But speaking of crazy, Lady Gaga is that's a terrible thing to say. I was more thinking of her red carpet. I was like, Lady Gaga has went from showing up at awards and grabbing headlines for what she's wearing to showing up and winning for things like American Horror Story. She won an Emmy for that, I think. She definitely won something. It was probably an Emmy. She's been nominated. Nobody was laughing at the idea of her being up for an Oscar at all.
No.
When A Star Is Born came out. So that says a lot. Lady Gaga is not going away. She's not a joke. There's no messing around. But because she's also a musical artist and one of quite, not in my CD collection because I'm old and I have CDs, but she is well respected musically.
Yeah, no, I think from her position of being a pop star, and just as you said, kind of like the meat
meat dress
suit and stuff like that, or the meat dress kind of thing. Going to I know that's just what we wear every day.
Imagine's meat suit.
So so I think that it's a very good kind of call to her for The Star Is Born. I do think it's a stronger choice, but I do think Mary Poppins
having a chance.
Is having a chance. I do want, though, what you gonna say?
Ballad of Buster Scruggs
to win. So
also just a shout out to Mark Ronson, who was co-author of that Lady Gaga tune "Shallow." I have a particular issue with him when it comes to music. It's not really for this podcast, it's for another time. But I couldn't help but say, if Lady Gaga doesn't win, and I'm all like, yes, it's not because I don't like you, Lady Gaga, but Mark Ronson, you know.
I think that'll be for the rant cast.
Yeah, the rant cast, exactly. So overall, we've gone through nominations. So we've gone through nominations for all the categories that we're covering tonight, because there are many, many more technical categories. Aquaman didn't make it for visual effects, even. No. And they did a whole lot of underwater with no water.
They also did beard motion underwater.
They did beard sway.
Yeah.
The year of beard sway,
which was really weird when you watch the film, and I think I do mention it in our review of Aquaman. That it really was just like, oh, this is mesmerizing.
I'm never not going to be able to notice beard sway. Anytime I see that movie now, I'll just be staring at chin. What's going on?
I wonder when it's going to come up.
So there's nothing that we would be really, really upset about. There's no, oh my god, if that wins, this will be terrible, which has really been the case other than Black Panther. But look, dude, I'm counting that out.
Yeah,
I know you think there's a chance, but I don't. And actually, you know what? If it wins, there's the bet to end this video on. If it wins...
No, because you're saying that you don't think it's going to win, and I don't want it to win.
No, I know you don't want it to win, but you think there's a snowball's chance in hell. So if it does, you are owed something by me for you showing some faith. If it wins, lunch for a week.
Oh, wow.
A working week, 5 days.
Okay.
A bank holiday working week, that's 4 days.
Okay.
And lunch is defined by me.
Okay, so
and I'm on a diet.
Okay, so that's okay. There's a lot of precursors.
4 apples.
I should once again just make it clear. We're happy that Black Panther is there in certain respects, that it does show the fact that the Academy is open to the fact that Marvel films or comic book films are acceptable now. There's a lot of asterisks around it. Is it chosen because it's the most popular film? Like,
yeah,
there's a couple of things around it that we just have to be careful with, because
and I'll be honest, I think it insults the film for me, because I enjoyed Black Panther. We talked at length about how much we loved Killmonger, the Michael B. Jordan,
such a good villain.
Like, as far as rating villains as portrayed in Marvel movies, you're talking top 1 or 2 for me there. Well, maybe top 3. Another video. We're not doing that now.
Yeah.
Because I just realized we're going to be in this for another hour if we do. I can't help but kind of feel that it's insulting to Black Panther that we have to almost say that people are pandering a little bit to put it in there.
Yeah.
It's unfair to a film that's that good for us to have to not say only positive things about it.
Yeah.
So I think it's counterproductive to have it there.
Yeah, no, I understand. So tell us about any of the nominations that you feel are going to win. Tell us if we're wrong or anything like that. We'd be happy to have a conversation, or at least the commentary kind of thing on our show.
And put in some suggestions for our friendly wager in the comments below. And also to Paul's question of whether or not you'd be interested in some sort of live stream for our opinion on the Oscars, if you'd be a watcher, then let us know.
Also, I know we're asking for a lot of comments. Which is your view on whether the Academy should do more in encouraging certain aspects of, the expansion of the art of film and TV.
Yeah,
such as as some of the suggestions we have.
I think there's probably another video coming from us on that will be expanding some more, because I'm very, very interested not only to hear what you think, but definitely to hear what you think.
Oh yeah.
So on that note, he's like, you're not going to like what I have to say.
No, I don't think that's true. I think it's more just the fact is that I think my pessimism might come out a little bit more. I mean, just like, I think the film industry is good, but I think it's definitely not about the art. It's more about the money. That's a different show, guys.
It's corrupt at its core, and it's a cold, dead heart.
So,
but on to Oscar season, glitz, glamour, and happiness. What you should do right now, just before you go, because you've got time, so you should like, you should subscribe, you should hit the notification bell, you should comment on all of the various things that we've asked.
And you should share.
And you should share. And you should catch us next time. I've been Patrick.
And I've been Paul.
And this has been Heroes Out on the Oscar nominations 2019.
See you later.
Thumbs up was a really weird thing for me to do in hindsight at the end there.
You can cut it out.